Hey YouTube, it's Jake here. Welcome to tutorial number 12, and in this tutorial we're going to be setting up the key events so that in the next tutorial hopefully we'll be able to move the jet, but for now we just have to set up some stuff in this one. So we've got a jet set up in the last one and a jet draw function. Now we want to know that when we press the arrow keys or the WASD keys, that the jet will move up, down, left, or right. Now, you don't have to do the arrow keys or the WASD keys. You can choose one or the other, or you can do both and follow what I'm doing. But basically, if you use the WASD keys, WASD, or the arrow keys, then we should be able to move the jet. So what we're going to start off with is actually at the very top of the program, we need to add 2 more event listeners. And I think we're going to put them right here, I suppose. Let's see. Maybe in here. Yeah, in here. Document dot get. Oh, no, we don't want that. We want add event listener. So we have to add 2 event listeners to the document object. Basically, we have to add an event listener for when the keys are pressed and when the keys are released. So we're going to do add event listener. We need to start off with key down. That's the word that we use to describe key down. We're going to be making a new function and we're going to call it check key down. And let's do false at the end. And then a semicolon. And then the next line we also have to do another document.add event listener. And for this one we do key up. That just describes when the keys are released. So we're going to be creating a function for check key up, and false is the last thing. Good. Check key up, check key down. Okay, so we just added 2 event listeners for this, and we have to make these 2 functions right now. So we're going to go down. Now these functions are a little confusing, I would say, but if you follow along, they should be pretty straightforward, I guess. So we start off with function. Let's do check key down first. To that, and then this. Now, I'm going to be putting a little letter in here called E, and E is a key, I don't know, something like a keyword that we use to describe an event. So whenever a key is pressed, it's going to send, whenever the document, whoa, that's backwards. Whenever the document event listener is called, it's going to send the key number. Basically, each key on the keyboard has a different number assigned to it for JavaScript that I know of. And basically, it's every time the keys are pressed, they're going to be calling this function. And basically, somehow it sends an E or an event number to this function. And that's how we decide, or that's how we determine which key has been pressed. So we start off with var key ID. This is just what I do normally for my games when I have to use keyboard keys. There's other ways, I'm sure, but this way works pretty good for for what I've done so far. So I'm just going to keep using it. So var key ID equals. Now this is going to seem really confusing, probably. Key code question mark and space E dot key code again, regular colon, and then E dot which. I'm just going to check that I got that right. Lucky I checked because I messed up here a bit. We need a capital C on code and a capital C on code right here. That should be good. Now basically, I believe this is something like, oh geez, what kind of statement is it? It's like an if statement, but it's all in one line, which makes it really easy to write, I guess. But basically, these different E codes or E.which, they basically determine, well, different web browsers like Internet Explorer, Firefox, and Chrome and Safari, some of them have different key events and different ways of detecting which key was pressed. This line right here just basically gets the key ID from no matter whatever browser it was called from, and just puts it into one thing that we'll use, one variable called key ID, and that basically just makes everything so it's all what's the word? when everything's usable, I guess, whatever. But okay, so now we need a couple if statements. If and in this one we need key ID, our variable right here, equals equals equals. Now I don't think we've done any if statements yet. No, we haven't. This is our first if statement. So I don't know if you guys have ever done if statements before, but basically when you do an if statement, you have to check if a variable or if something is equal to something else. For this example, there's other ways that if statements are used, but for this example, we're going to check if the key ID is exactly equal to 38. Now, the equal means that it's exactly equal to. I'm not going to go into why or what reasons there are, but basically you can't do one equal sign. I shouldn't be telling you guys this, but you can do two equal signs. It just means something similar, but it'll still work. And three equal signs is the best, safest way, so that's what I use. Yeah, you can research that if you guys really want to know why. But key ID equals 87. Now, these two lines right here, hopefully you guys know where you can find those in your keyboard. On my keyboard, they are beside the curly brackets. So just beside this thing, there's a line. Now, on different keyboards, they'll be different. But basically, these two big lines mean or. So basically, if key ID equals 38, or if key ID equals 87. So that's basically telling the program that if one of these two keys are pressed, which I'll go over in a second, but if one of these two keys are pressed, then do something right here. And that's what we're going to tell it to do in a second. But anyways, 38 and 87. Basically, 38 is the up arrow, and 87 is the W key. Those are the numbers that describe the key on the keyboard. So I don't know why they have it like that, like why the numbers are like that, but it's just how it was made. So I guess you just have to go with it. But now we're just going to put in a little comment. And if you guys don't know how to do a comment, it's just 2 forward slashes. Basically, a comment it doesn't do anything to your code. It just lets you know, it helps you understand what you wrote if you have to come back to it or something. But anyways, 38 means up arrow key, and 87 means W key. Let's just make it a little shorter. Up arrow 38 W87. No, you know what? I'll just do up arrow and W. Basically, this is the up arrow, this is W, and what we're going to do now is inside of here, we're just going to put another little line, e.prevent default. Now, this may not make a lot of sense either, but have you ever noticed that when you're on a website and you scroll, or not scroll, but when you're on a website and you can use the arrow keys to scroll up and down the web page, basically, when someone comes to this game, they won't be able to do that, because if they were allowed to do that and our game was a little bit lower, like it had more more space than just what was on screen, then that means that someone could use the arrow key and eventually scroll down the web page. But we don't want that to happen, because if that happened, the game would be really unplayable in a way, because if you're trying to make the jet go down, but the web page goes down instead, that's not helpful. That's why we have this little e.prevent default in here. It just helps keep everything working the way we want it to. So this was only for the up arrow and the W key. What we need to do next is copy this. Let's try again, Jake. Copy right there. And then paste it 4 times. Now all we have to do in here is just change these from 38 to 39, which is, I'll tell you in a second, 38, 39, 68. And this is the down arrow. No, the right arrow, sorry. the right arrow, or the D key. Let's put, instead of or, let's put an and, so it makes more sense. And is a whole different symbols instead of or, but anyways, this means or. That's why we have it there. So right arrow or D. Let's put key, just for the heck of it. Okay, and instead of 38 here, we want 40 and 83. You can search these key codes online and just take a look at them if you really want to. But basically, it's just what they are. So now this 40 and 83 are down arrow or S key. And then this last one is the left key. So we need to do, instead of 38, we need 37 and 65. Whoops, 65. And this is left arrow or A key. Okay, so basically that's it for this function. Not really though. Next lesson we'll be going inside here and putting more stuff, which we need to do because right now this does absolutely nothing for our game. This just tells which key was pressed. Now let's just copy this function and let's put it down here because we need to do the key up function now. Check key up. And let me just take a look here. Whoa, come on now. Key up. Okay, I think that for this tutorial, that's all we need to do in here as well. It's just the same function, but trust me, next tutorial, these will differ a bit what's inside here. And that will basically tell which way the jet has to move. So let's just check this. What I'm going to do to make sure it works, we're going to press the up arrow. We're going to do an alert box, and it's whoa. Okay, let's try this again. Alert box. No. Alert box, and inside the alert box, let's do up arrow was pressed, and now we may not see this one because it may do the key release instead. But let's do up arrow was released. Now if we refresh our game, let's hope no errors. Good. Now if I hit the up arrow was pressed. Okay. Up arrow was pressed. Up arrow was pressed. Now I should put up arrow or W key because I just did the W key that last one. And the reason we're not seeing this one is because I'm not sure why it doesn't do it, but I have a feeling it has something to do because when you have the up arrow, when you hit the up arrow, it makes an alert box and basically it loses track of if the key's up or down. That's why you don't get a key release. But basically, if I took this out, because I just commented it out right there. Now if I check this one and see if it says it, up arrow should say up arrow was released. Up arrow was released. That's why. So basically, it wasn't showing because this alert box was already up and it was just blocking the key. But basically, we can take that out of there. And now that we know that's working, that's pretty much it for this tutorial. So next tutorial, we're going to be actually moving the jet, hopefully. Yeah, I think so. Moving the jet. It's going to be pretty sweet, guys. So stay tuned for number 13. Thanks. And press the like button, guys, if you like it. Thanks.